welcome back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin. If you're enjoying these long format reviews, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. And if you're extra awesome, you can join our Discord server, link in description below. So we're up to the season finale of season 2. I know people are saying that, oh, it's not really finale, it's the first part of season 2 broken up, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. This is the last episode presented to us, so it is, for all intents and purposes, the season finale of what we have available to us. And it's terrible because it's not. People, here's the thing. The whole episode's about my two gay dads, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine to have an episode about that. But to make it the last thing you see for the foreseeable future, where nothing happens until the last 2 seconds of the episode, it's mind-boggling that they would put this story at this time in the series. This is like a filler episode you throw in, in season 5, like episode 8 or something, just out there. But the episode before should have been the final season finale. You leaves you with the sense of dread and what's going to happen. Are the bad guys got the upper hand, or all the mystery? No, we get this. It's okay that we learn about Bo's family, but it's just a big gag. So you use your last episode for a season to have a bunch of jokes. Whatever. We open up and Bo is hanging out on top of the castle. Somehow, did he shoot a line up there and climb up there? A little ridiculous. He's looking at his little data pad and he's trying to figure out what these messages mean, because it's all scrambled up. Then it goes off on an alarm and he's like, oh no, that's now. Oh, and he's getting all super worried. And even at this point in the episode, I was thinking to myself, it's got to be something stupid. They never do anything serious. It's got to be silly. You're not tricking me anymore. We cut to Adora's room and Glimmer runs in there all worried and pulls her blanket off, and Adora wakes up with a knife in her hand.
Adora, get up!
And this is a pretty cool looking knife. And it's really designed super well. And I don't think I've ever seen it in this series before, but it's they took extra time to make this little dagger look cool. But I thought it was awesome that she woke up with a knife in her hand, because she's always ready to defend herself. Glimmer's like, Bo's missing, he's gone. And they're going through the forest, and even Adora's like, whoa, slow down, what's going on? Oh, he's missing, and he left this note saying everything's fine, and that's not going to be fine. He would have told me if something was going to happen, and she's getting all worried about him. Well, I guess, which is kind of nice. But she's being way, way too over the top. I guess they're tracking him somehow. She sees his some sap on a tree, and she's like, oh, I don't know if this is a joke, but she's like, he went this way, the sap on the tree, and then his footprints.
Bo definitely came this way, judging from the broken twigs, the sap, and his incredibly distinct footprints.
Oh yeah, the footprints would be where he was going, but the sap, was that just a gag? I guess he stashed his bow and arrow, in the bushes, and well, where would he go without his weapons? He's always with his weapons. And they find some old building. I thought this was, I knew it was going to be stupid. I knew it wasn't going to be serious, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's, because I kind of wanted to know, does Bo have a village? Does he have a people? I'm thinking maybe he has to go meet back with them and, strategize things. He's supposed to come up with new weapons, new trick arrows, something. I was hoping against hope. It's some type of library, and it's it looks all, I want to say an old, not a crypt, but a overrun building from the outside, but on the inside is super clean. So I'm thinking, what the hell is this, a museum or whatever? I like it whenever Adora pulls her sword, it makes a shing sound, even though it's not in a sheath of any kind. How does it make that noise? Whatever. We see Bo in a normal clothes, and then Glimmer is super shocked that his midriff isn't showing, and that's a little bit of a running gag here. Why? And Bo's like, what the hell are you guys doing here? You got to get out of here. They're like, no, we're here to save you or whatever. And he just grabs her weapons and stashes them away. Then I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is supposed to be some type of, you're not allowed to have weapons in this building, anything. No, we meet Bos Dads. And here's the thing. The dads are very 1990s TV sitcom representation of a homosexual couple. One of them's like the guy, and one of them's like the super, femi, super loud, I want to say Will and Grace-esque homosexual couple character. It's kind of insulting. I just think it's like, oh, that would be like, I'm Hispanic. That would be like, they had an Hispanic guy and he runs in wearing a poncho and a big sombrero and he's serving nachos to everyone. That's how I would see it. Like, oh, it's very stereotypical, and I just thought it was a bad representation. Why couldn't they just be two awesome dudes? No, one of them has to be, oh, sparkly eyes and everything. Like, oh, serious? We get back to the fright zone, and Adora's like, has the only 4 people under her command, but why is Scorpia under her command? They're both force captains. That'd be like 2 sergeants, and he's telling him what to do. She's not a higher rank than she is. And Scorpia has been a force captain longer than Katras. So shouldn't Scorpia be the one who can pull rank? I don't know. Whatever. Their badges do look different. Katras is green and Scorpia's is red. So I don't know if that actually means anything. But she's like trying to talk. She's talking to her troops, her lackeys. Wouldn't it be cool if she had like a whole group of people? But no, it's just the same 4 idiots. She's like, oh, if you see, double patrols, if you see anything out of the ordinary, let me know. And then Lonnie's like, yeah, you mean like how Shadow Reaper's cell is empty? She's like, I don't know, is Lonnie's positioning herself to, she becomes the next force captain? Because she seems to be more competent than anyone else on this team. Katra was like that, but she lets all these personal attachments, her personal attachments to Adora, her personal attachments to Shadow Weaver, it's screwing up her ability to lead. So I think Lonnie would actually be a better leader than anyone in this room. Then she's like, no, I sent her to solitary. So she's trying to cover up for her escaping. And she's like, if anyone wants to know what her cell looks like, keep asking me these questions. So she's dropping the hammer on these guys. Scorpia is, of course, concerned because that's like her friend, not girlfriend. It's so weird. How they portray that relationship is just so weird. Then we get every sitcom about meeting the parents. And they're sitting there drinking tea. Everyone's nervous because you can tell Bo's been lying to his parents because like, oh, we met his schoolmates. How's it at the academy? And they all have to like keep up the facade of them being students at this academy for the sciences and arts and stuff. The one dad who's I know the way to describe it is he's the man and then the other dad is the wife, because he's always going around and, oh, do you guys need one more tea? Do you need any snacks? Is there anything you need? He's just being loud and just weird, and the other dad is kind of cool and calm and collected. Okay, stereotypical. These gags go on because they're asking him about their school life and they have no answers because they didn't know about any of this. And you find out that they hate the rebellion. They hate war. They hate fighting. They hate all this stuff. So his parents are, let's just say they're, I guess it would be like if you had a bunch of friends that were like in the military and everything, and they came over to meet your parents and they're ultra liberals. They hate military. They hate violence. They hate all this stuff. And it'd be like, oh yeah, here's my 2 buddies and we're painters or something. You just like make up this lie. So you learn that, and Glimmer's kind of, she's getting kind of myth, like, they hate princesses, and I'm an actual princess, and She-Ra, of course, she's a de facto princess because she has powers, but so they literally saying, oh yeah, we hate you without them knowing that she's a princess. And I guess what the one father with the mustache, he has his reasons for not liking war and stuff, because when the first rebellion started, he joined up the military. I thought I was doing the right thing. And when I came back, my whole village was destroyed and everyone died. But here's the thing you got to understand. If you would have not joined the military, you probably would have died there too. So I don't know what to say. It's not the military's fault why that happened. It kind of reminds me of these pacifist type situations. But this isn't like a normal war. The Horde's is coming if you're there to greet them or not. War is upon you. And so that's why he doesn't like any of that kind of stuff. It never explains how he met his husband here, but they have they have children. They have 13 kids. So where did these children come from? I was thinking that maybe they both had families. They both went to war, and their children got saved, but their wives got killed, and they ended up finding each other, and that's how they fell in love, and they're like a big blended family. But they never explain any of that. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, just because they loved each other, babies came from that. I literally had, this is probably like 4 years ago. I was like into like the fandom stuff, and I was like, you know, in My Little Pony, and people were talking about like, oh, they loved shipping all the characters together, and then like Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash had a baby. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? And they're like, oh, through the magic of love and everything. I'm like, I thought they were joking. No, they honestly believe that. So I can only imagine the reasonings of how these two men have 13 children, unless they're all adopted, which would be cool too, but they never say that. It's weird. Bo's super embarrassed and everything because I want to just call him the mom because he's like the mom role, the one with the long hair. He's like, oh, I got pictures of Bo like when he was a baby. Oh, embarrassing baby photos, and one of him's in a bubble bath. Then Adora's like, yeah, I want to see that. Adora, you freaking weirdo. Why would you want to see that? Bo's like, oh, I want to show my friends my room, and then they pull him in a little side room, and then they're talking. And he's like he kind of explains everything. I lied to my parents about going to this academy. He made up the academy. So it's not even a real school. How dumb are his parents? They never wanted to talk to any of the professors. They never wanted to check in on him. Never. They just accepted everything Bo said to them. I guess because they trusted him or whatever, but there had to have been some type of communication. Oh, do you have grades or whatever? Here's a better way to do this. Bo went to Angela, the queen of Bright Moon, and said, hey, I want to join the rebellion, have all these skills. I'm going to be at the castle to learn under whatever. I'm pretty sure they have scholars and stuff like that. Just kind of let my parents know that I'm working with them, but really I'm going to be working with your daughter to fight this rebellion. So they would have that facade from the queen. Something. No, it's just Bo made it all up. We get more silly little scenes like the mom dad is putting out little snacks. Then the other dad tries to reach for him, and then he looks at him like, those aren't for you.
Stay home and take over the library when they retire. I wanted to travel, to fight.
Okay. So again, 90s sitcom stuff. Then he talks about, I guess he has two brothers. One's name is Lance and George. He's like, oh, if they ever found out that I'm really fighting for the rebellion, they'd be so mad at me and disappointed. And the camera angle here is like in the hallway. I thought one of his brothers was there and he like overheard all this. But no, we never see his other family. I'm hoping they're not all brothers. At least he has like a whole like regular, like as blended as a family would be, like brothers and sisters. But if it's like 13 boys across the board, that would be hilarious. But he's like begging them, please just go along with it. And I told my parents that you're like an archaeological major and you're like an art major or something like that. So they go back in there and they're going to like go and, continue to pretend. We get back to the fright zone and Katra's like looking through a whole bunch of papers. Like, I don't understand why she's doing this, because if she's looking for Shadow Weaver, why is she looking through papers? Like, is she thinking she left her a note or something? Whatever. Maybe she's looking through reports and maybe someone said something, but they never explain it. Scorpia shows up and this is so stupid. She's asking her, well, you asked her to look for suspicious things. It's the fright zone. Everything's suspicious. It'd be easier if you just let me know. And, Katra's just not letting her know anything. And then Scorpio's like, I didn't want to do this. She calls her Wildcat again. Don't give me these cutesy little nicknames. It's so weird, especially if she's a superior officer, but then she is and then she isn't. She takes the blanket and then like wraps her up like a baby, like swaddling a baby. And then like holds her close and like rocks her around.
Woman, do your job and swaddle this baby!
Just let all your cares go. We're safe. We're safe here.
Stop it!
We went from bad touch Katra to bad touch Scorpia. Boundaries, my friend. My goodness. And like, I guess the coddling brought it out of her. She's like, Shadow Weaver escaped. I don't know where she is. I need to get her back before Hordak finds out, but he's gonna whoop my butt if he finds out. we get back to family time with, to my two gay dads. That should have been the name of the episode. They're just walking around getting like a little tour of their library, whatever. And, oh, look, this is where Bo used to play pretend. It's like a little, kids make bases under tables. Oh, this is where he pretended to be a pirate, right? Oh, no. He hates pirates. This is where he pretended to be whatever, archaeologist, whatever the heck these two guys are. And, of course, he likes pirates. Everything he's doing with Seahawk, he likes adventure, he likes fighting. So Bo's been lying to his parents this whole time. Adora asks about She-Ra, and they're like, oh yeah, we do the translations. Some of it might be agreed. Her name is like Woman Ra or something like that. I guess that's a joke about how people uncover the past and they may misunderstand a translation, or when you translate from one language to another, there's stuff that's lost. But I don't know. They find a plot, like a description of She-Ra, and she has like a dragon, and then Adora's like, oh, I wish I had a dragon. She keeps like breaking character. How can you be this stupid, Adora? My goodness. They have like a shard from one of the, I guess it's from like one of the busted up things where the princesses draw from these stones. So they have a piece of that, and that's like their jewel of their collection. They keep talking, and they keep messing up. Like, she's like, oh, the thing's going with history. I thought you were an art major. Because she just said, oh, it was art history. No, then she just keeps making other things up. Like, my goodness. I know it's for comedy's sake, but it's just frustrating to know that this is the last episode. So it's like, I don't care about all this stupid silliness. It doesn't mean anything. Then they start talking about that message that Bo got to, because they wanted to know about, what was it called? Something portals. It wasn't celestial, but it's something like that. And they're like, oh, we do have some papers and stuff about that. And it gets to the whole bunch of it. And they're kind of arguing about like, oh, some people think it was this mythical hero, and like some people think that she was real, and others like, me don't. So like the dads disagree on something. Okay. I guess they have a whole bunch of this crap. Like they go, oh, that's just the first floor. The second floor has a bunch more information. So if they're going to investigate this whole thing, it's going to take them forever. Adora's looking at it. She's like, oh, this thing's for about aqueducts. So this has been put in the wrong place. And like, oh my God, you can read the first one, language, whatever. You could help us with so many things. And again, another joke that could be kind of funny, but it just... He has a tattoo, the dad with the short hair. He's like, oh, what does his tattoo say? And then I forgot what it was. It's supposed to say love, but it says something else. And then the other dad's laughing, and I'm like, oh, you're touching it. So it's a joke about how people will get like kanji tattoos, and they'll think it'll say dragon spirit, but it really just says like takeout food or something. And they just think it looks cool. Okay, it's kind of a funny joke. Then they're like, oh, Adora, you can help us. You can help us translate some more things and settle some disputes and help us out with all this information, because they're like, wow, we have someone who can actually read all this stuff. Adora's like, oh, maybe I should stay with Bo and Glimmer so we can do our research project. Then the other dad does the whole sparkly eyes thing, and it's like, well, that's why Bo does all this stupid crap. He takes after his dumb dad, not at least the other one, at least he's kind of cool. This one's a goofball. They take off, so it's just Bo and Glimmer, and then Glimmer like gets all pissed off at Bo. You didn't tell me about your family. You've been lying this whole time. And it's like, it's none of your damn business, Glimmer. But she gets all butthurt about it. And then Bo's like, well, I had to, because they hate princesses. I didn't want to have to put you like through that or whatever, that position. So they're kind of having a, Glimmer she feels like she's entitled to everyone's business. This is Bo's family business. You don't need to, this has nothing to do with you. So stop going in so hard against him, because he has his reasons, okay? We get back to Adora, and there's this big orb thing. And they're like, oh, what does it say? And Adora like is looking at it. Oh, it's a password. And remember how she could open the doors by saying Eternia? I'm guessing that is a activation word, because it worked on the door and it works on this. And then it's a weapon, and it's a mini Alaskan bullworm.
Alaskan bullworm!
It starts ripping up the place. It's rolling around, destroying everything. And then Adora grabs her sword and becomes She-Ra. But she says it in a funny way, because if for the honor of Grayskull, but she just says it weird.
For the honor of Grayskull!
She becomes She-Ra, and remember how she could like calm the animals? She tries to do that again, but like it just throws her across the room. Pretty funny. Glimmer goes into action. She starts like just shooting it a bunch of times with like little glimmer sparkle things, and they're having a hard time with this monster. And I'm thinking to myself, they fought way stronger enemies than this. Like, why are they having such a problem? Whatever. Glimmer does her best. Not Glimmer. She-Ra does her best Captain America. Throws her shield and it spins. It comes back to her. It's like, okay. Then the dad's like, what the hell's going on? Like, they're princesses, they have powers. What, you've been lying this whole time? And then Bo kind of is, right, he's like, okay, dads, we're in a situation where we could die or could get hurt. I'll explain everything afterwards. Just let us handle this, and then I'll lay out everything for you to understand afterwards. They keep fighting. Things are all getting busted up. Glimmer saves the dads, and we get this really stupid joke. Bo has his arrows and his bow under like a desk, and he can't reach them. So he rips his shirt, and then that allows him to reach them. Why not go around to the other side, you freaking idiot? It's like right on the edge, like it's at the deepest part. He could have just went one side over, but I guess the dumb joke of him showing off his midriff. That okay? Bo starts hitting it with arrows, and it's not really. They're kind of like just dodging it. They're not really beating it. The dads tell them, oh, it's because Bo's like, oh, this thing's always activating when they're protecting something, but what could they be protecting? They're like, oh, we found it with that shard. Bo gets the shard, it stops, it grabs it, and then like protects it. So I'm guessing it's kind of like a vault that can attack you. And they save the day. And then Bo kind of has it's a coming out storyline, but not like a kid coming out and telling his parents he's gay. It's a kid coming out and telling his parents he's part of a rebellion. Like, I don't know what the message is here, but of course he tells them everything. And I know I broke your hearts and you hate me. We can never hate you. You are our son. And why couldn't you be honest with us before? We would always love you. It's as simplistic and as predictable as it could have possibly have been. Wouldn't it have been great if one of the dads is like, well, we still love you, son, and everything, and the other dad is just like hurt and isn't ready to forgive his son just yet. So there could be some of that animosity where he needs to somehow connect with both his dads again, and he caused a rift. All this lying, that's not good. That would have been great. It would have been a great extra dynamic. There is another show that we review here on the podcast called The Orville, and there was an alien race of all males, and very few times do they have a female. But when they do, they force a sex change on the females to make them male because their race needs to be all males. And the two partners were in a disagreement about it. And that dynamic between that family where they love each other, but they have this is not just like, oh, I like chocolate ice cream, you like vanilla ice cream. No. This is a hardcore issue, and that caused a rift in their marriage. That is good story writing. That is some good plot points where you can see both sides of an argument. No, here, they're just 1,000% accepting, even though Bo was basically lying to them for years. I don't know how long he's came up with this idea of this pretend school, but they have a big old hug, and this is a family hug. And then, like, has the girls join in on the hug. So stupid. They show the dads the data pad, and they're like, oh, this isn't just a message. These are, like, constellations, they're stars. So they make this big star map just like in freaking Treasure Planet.
Stars.
And they find out where it leads to, like, we're the only place where this constellation is like in line. So like, oh, we're gonna go there, and I guess that's probably exactly where Hordak's gonna be doing its experiments. Get back to the fright zone, and Hordak calls Katra to the office. I'm like, oh no, she's made. That little baby thing recorded her when she was talking. So she goes there, and Hordak's like, so is everything going to plan? She's like, oh yeah, everything's great. So you sent Shadow Weaver to the Beast Island. I was calling it Monster Island before, but I corrected myself after the fact. But it's Beast Island. And she's like, yeah, I sent her there yesterday. And then that little baby that recorded her is like, plays back everything she said about releasing Shadow Weaver.
Yes, I sent her yesterday, just like you ordered. Believe me, we're never going to see her again.
I lost Shadow Weaver!
Run, bitch, run! He gonna kill you!
And I'm like, oh, and I thought, you got to get out of there. I wouldn't even have waited for Hordak to respond. I would have just took off. There is no getting out of this. He was choking you just for talking to him. I mean, there wasn't even any real problems, really. And this is a giant F up. He gonna kill you, girl. You gotta go. But she stays there like, you idiot. And then he's like, you lied to me. And, then he turns on that machine that pulls out the oxygen and starting to kill her. And she can't breathe. She falls to her knees. And then, see, this is another, is this like a juxtaposition of what happened with Bo's parents? Bo told his dads the truth and they accepted him. Katra lied to Hordak, who's like her, I don't know, surrogate father. And he's like, this was a test. If you would have came clean, but you didn't and you failed. And he's staring at her. And then, of course, the oxygen is cutting off and it fades to black. So we don't know what happened with Katra. I can't imagine that she dies here. I'm thinking either Scorpia and Trapta save her, because there's no way. I think Scorpia would go toe-to-toe with Hordak. Probably get her butt kicked, but she would try to fight him to save Katra because she cares about her. She loves her. I'm thinking that's what's going to end up happening. We get back to Adora. I guess they all went back to Bright Moon. Adora's sleeping in her room, and just like a creeper, Shadow Weaver shows up and she's staring down at Adora. End of the season. So the last 3 minutes was of any consequence. The story of Bos Dads, I guess. I guess it's an empirical fact that this is the gayest episode of the series so far. I guess they thought it was important to have this message be the season finale. What a way to go out on a whimper, an absolute whimper. They should have swapped the 2 last episodes over. They would have to move some plot points around about Shadow Weaver disappearing, running away, but they could have put this at the end of the last episode and it would all made sense, and then have it be like a couple days later or whatever. But man, what a pathetic episode to end on. It only moves the plot forward 2 inches. There's no big battle. There's no nothing. We don't even know what this teleport thing's gonna do for Hordak. And I don't know when the next set of episodes are coming out. But could you imagine if the show was canceled and this was the last thing you see for a whole series? Talk about a big F you to the fans, like ridiculous. But there is going to be a season 3. I have no idea when it's coming out, or season 2 part B. But there's going to be some graphic novels and some short chapter books. I'm definitely going to review the graphic novels because I love comic books and stuff. The novels, I maybe might leaf through them at the bookstore. I'm pretty sure they're going to be super short stories. But yeah, that does it for season 2. And I can't imagine anyone watched this episode and thought, oh man, I'm satisfied with the story. They could have done so much more. There will be a kind of a recap, what I want to see in season 3 video, like I did for season 2. Nothing I said in that video happened in this season, so I kind of like some of the stuff here. Everything with Katra is good, but it's starting to run its course because you can only dump on this poor girl for so much before we need some resolution or some her winning, because everything she does, she gets screwed over all the time. But yeah, that ends the season. I wish I had more to say, but there's nothing here. It's just if you're into the 90s sitcom stereotypical homosexual couple, then I guess you'll just love the hell out of this episode. But everyone else, whatever. But I love reading the comments. Keep them coming. There's going to be a couple more videos. I'm going to cover that graphic novel. There was some more, like there was an interview with Noel Stevenson about this season, but it was very spoilery. So I didn't want to do that earlier, so that video will probably come out in the next couple of days. I'll respond to that, and there's a big push, so there's gonna be more stuff. So there will be more She-Ra videos, and here's hoping for it to start getting better. They've done it twice. They did it they're both Catcher episodes. More of that, but do that, but with the good guy as the aspect of the story, the main focus. Not always tragedy, betrayal, and Catcher getting screwed over. Let's have something cool and awesome, but for a good guy character. But yeah, catch you guys then. Thanks for all the, again, there's a lot of comments where you guys disagree with me and stuff, but you know what? That's what makes the internet fun, because we don't always have to agree on everything. And I can see certain people's points of view. I mean, I'd agree with them, but I can understand why they think that way. And I'm always open to everything. There's the Discord server. We can continue discussions there. There is our Twitter at C15 Podcast, and there's even an email on the About page. You can share stories there, ideas, thoughts, and then maybe we talk about them on the podcast. But thanks everyone for watching these videos. Be sure to share them out there. I enjoy doing these guys, all these videos for you guys. When I upload the videos, I can't wait for the comments. It's kind of like a nervous feeling, like, oh, what are people going to think? And it's just, this makes everything so much more fun for me. So catch you guys on the next set of videos. See ya. Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.